No Man's Sky patch 2.2, the synthesis update, is due to go live on public for PC and consoles just before this video releases. So here are all 100 bug fixes present in this massive update. Synthesis is comprised of a total of 297 notes. The other 197 are improvements and new features, all based on player requests. So if you want to know what those are, check this video from last night, where I go through all of them. Right, let's see what long-term annoyances Hello Games have fixed. Firstly, a few VR bug fixes. Fixed a VR issue that caused the Multitool to be instantly holstered while looking at the Multitool menu. Fixed an issue that prevented VR players from being able to choose the warp position of their freighter when summoning it from the quick menu. Fixed an issue that caused the player's right hand to be incorrectly aligned when using the DualShock 4 in PSVR. In VR, the hands are now hidden when hand controls are not being used. Fixed an issue that caused the player's left hand to constantly make a whooshing sound when using a DualShock 4 in PSVR. Fixed a visual corruption issue in the warp tunnel effect in VR. Fixed an issue that caused the hollow controller, visible when using the DualShock 4 in VR, to be incorrectly aligned. Fixed an issue that caused melee attacks to be activated too early on index controllers. Fixed an issue that caused the analysis visor tip text to contain information that was inaccurate in VR. Fixed an issue that prevented VR players from handing in delivery missions at trade outposts. So that's all the VR bug fixes. The rest are general bug fixes, which will affect pretty much all players, and include some fixes for duping and such. Fixed an issue that prevented objects from being interacted with while the terrain manipulator menu or the quick menu were open. Interacting will now close the menu. Fixed an issue that could prevent item names from displaying when looking for objects with the analysis visor. Fixed an issue that caused guild envoys to give invalid products as rewards. That would be likely referring to when they were giving out like tokens for Quicksilver, which couldn't be, it's not a redeemable thing or anything, it's basically just a junk item that's worth nothing. Fixed an issue that caused vortex cubes and oxygen plants to leave collision behind when they were collected. Fixed an issue that caused the nutrient processor to have the icon of a pile of dung when viewed through the analysis visor. Hilarious. Fixed an issue that could make it difficult to pulse drive toward mission markers. Thank goodness, that was annoying as hell. It is better now. Fixed a rare issue that could cause buildings to be missing when loading a game. Fixed an issue that caused the Starfield system labels to be in the wrong place at non-standard resolutions. Fixed an issue that could cause the text in the loading Starfield to flicker. Fixed an issue that could cause the interact label to flicker. Fixed an issue that caused a white square to flicker on screen when HUD markers are first drawn. Fixed a number of UI alignment issues at non-standard resolutions. Fixed an issue that caused multiple copies of other players' bases to spawn. Fixed an issue where NPCs on the space anomaly would change scale when turning. Fixed an issue that could cause starships to become stuck in buildings shortly after takeoff. Fixed an issue that caused repeated audio triggers when using the analysis visor. Fixed an issue that caused rain audio to play while inside the marine shelter. Fixed an exploit that allowed for infinite creation of stellar metals. Also fixed an item duplication exploit. It does not specify which. Fixed an issue that could cause markers on beacons and other objects to vanish after using the survey device. That's a pretty big one because that was very annoying and caused you to have to do things in a certain order, and if you screwed up you had to move for a while or even reload in some cases to get it back. So yeah, I'm really glad that one's been fixed. Fixed an issue that caused the torch to toggle incorrectly while the terrain manipulator is equipped. Fixed an issue that prevented custom markers from being visible on the compass. Fixed an issue that caused the VR ship cockpit handles to be lit up in non-VR. Fixed an issue that caused the orientation of the starship to be incorrect after reloading. Fixed an issue that caused glitchy player movement when using third-party Xbox controllers. Prevented the initialize option at the start of the game from being unbound and thus blocking people permanently. Fixed an issue that caused the binding prompt to be reopened when rebinding something to select a button. Fixed an issue that caused the terrain manipulator material selection menu to open without being selected. Fixed an issue with the exocraft customizer that caused the camera to be far too close. Fixed an issue that caused item stacks in the inventory to be boosted to their maximum size when warping in creative mode. Fixed an issue that caused every orb on the Atlas station to trigger after picking up one word stone. Fixed an issue that caused already harvested planetary objects to reappear on load. Fixed an issue that caused players to be warned about extreme sentinels when in creative mode. Fixed an issue that caused all ship pilots on an outpost or space station to look the same. Fixed a rare issue that could cause new games to start outside the Euclid galaxy. Fixed a glitch in the gathering animation. Fixed an issue that could cause lighting settings from exotic planets to be present when on a freighter, frigate or space station. This one's worded oddly. Fixed an issue that caused building markers to be transferred to a new system when boarding the space anomaly. That took me more than once to read. Fixed an issue that could cause starships to be forcibly docked with the space anomaly while flying freely around space. Fixed an issue that could cause ships to stop land in mid-air without any input from the player. Fixed an issue that could cause holes to appear in the terrain. Fixed an issue that could cause players to become stuck after reloading a save aboard an Atlas station. Fixed an issue where an interaction camera could clip inside the geometry of ancient ruins. Fixed an issue where mission steps that involved going through a portal would fail to display any text. Fixed an issue that hid the low standing warning when trying to accept a mission board mission you were not eligible for. Fixed an issue that caused the large mission detail pop-ups to be visible when using the analysis visor. Fixed an issue that prevented players from finding a story critical crash freighter if they left the crash site. Fixed an issue that prevented players from finding story critical portals if they left the portal while it was in its active state. Fixed a number of rare issues where core story missions would not trigger the next mission. Fixed an issue that could prevent missions involving specialist NPCs from working if the NPCs were placed on a freighter. Fixed a rare issue where players would not learn the hyperdrive blueprint at the correct point of the tutorial. Fixed an issue that could cause hints about planetary charts to persist after using a chart. That was very annoying. Fixed a bug that caused mission tips to cycle rapidly if the hazard protection was charged by going into a cave at the start of the game. That happened to me when I was actually testing End All Beginner's Guide thing. That never happened, but may one day, you never know. Fixed a rare issue where some players with very old save games would never know the recipe for the construction research unit. Fixed a rare issue that could block mission progression at Artemis's crashed ship. That definitely affected quite a few viewers. Fixed an issue that caused the wrong text to appear when unable to afford a blueprint from a technology researcher of the space anomaly. Added some mysterious text. That's really vague and ominous and mysterious. Fixed an issue where the first Atlas station in the Artemis story had incorrect text. Improved the messages where the starship is unable to activate the pulse drive so that they are more informative about the reason. Fixed some incorrect text in a Viking NPC interaction. Fixed an issue that caused overlapping text in the surveying UI. Improved the variety in the names and requirements of damaged objects that block inventory slots in damaged starships and multitools. Fixed an issue that prevented the storm clearing message from triggering. Fixed an issue where inaccurate growing times were listed for plants placed in an unpowered planter. Fixed an issue that caused the number of items available to build in the building part information to be inconsistent or incorrect. Fixed an issue, as you might expect, that caused an audio trigger to play twice when opening doors on the space anomaly. Added audio to the mineral and gas extractors. I'm interested about that one. Fixed an issue that caused freighter captains to think players had purchased their freighter after the purchase was declined. Fixed an issue that allowed research frigates to grant infinite system scans. Fixed an issue that prevented the fuel oxidizer expedition upgrade from actually reducing expedition time. Nice! Finally! Fixed an issue that prevented expedition upgrade descriptions from scrolling onto the expedition details page. Fixed an issue that caused player-owned ships not to be aboard their freighter after reloading. That'd be a concerning one. Fixed an issue that prevented technology from being correctly installed in freighters after partially completing the installation. Fixed an issue that prevented new expeditions from being started even though there were spare fleet terminals available. Fixed an issue that caused C-class frigates to be damaged more frequently than intended. Fixed a rare issue that caused damaged details to not be correctly displayed when viewing expedition results. Fixed an issue that caused save problems when getting out of the starship onto a frigate. Fixed an issue that caused expedition commanders to be invisible after returning from the freighter hangar. Fixed an issue that caused diplomatic frigates to give the wrong reward. Fixed an issue that could result in players becoming stuck in the freighter navigator interaction after starting an expedition. Fixed an issue that caused the freighter hangar to be invisible while performing operations on the starship from inside the freighter base. Fixed an issue that caused the starship hyperdrive range to be used to plot freighter hyperdrive routes. Fixed an issue that could cause freighters to spawn but not be visible. Fixed an issue that caused placeholder text to appear in the UI for transferring items to a freighter. Fixed an issue that caused the freighter bridge/hangar to be incorrectly turned on and off while docking. Fixed a rare crash in the inventory system. Fixed an issue that could cause an out-of-memory crash on Vulkan GPUs. Fixed a crash on the Xbox networking system. Fixed a crash in the waypointing system. Fixed a crash that could occur when interacting with another player's freighter storage containers. And fixed a crash in the projectile system. That was a big list. For any who have stuck with it till now, good for you, my dude. You have patience and an iron will. I hope this has fixed some of the things that were annoying you. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already to keep in the loop on No Man's Sky news and ring that bell, as well as for new guides since this update coming regularly. If you wish to support Xaine's World, there are many ways like Patreon, YouTube membership, merch, and of course sharing the videos, which does really help the channel. All links as well as the Discord and website can be found in the pinned comment. Have a great day, folks.